I'm seeing red. The hunger for war is in my blood. Hunger is flowing in my lungs. You can see in my eyes, I am the phoenix about to rise. I'm seeing red. Do I die alive or dead? Hear the voice inside my head telling me this is not the end. I'm seeing red. Do I die alive or dead? Hear the voice inside my head telling me this is not the end. I'm seeing. I'm seeing. One-man army under the gun. Locked and loaded. Here I come. Laying on your back. Always at the ready to attack. I'm seeing red. Do I die alive or dead? Hear the voice inside my head telling me this is not the end. I'm seeing red. Do I die alive or dead? Hear the voice inside my head telling me this is not the end. I'm seeing. I'm seeing. I'm seeing I'm seeing red. Do I die alive or dead? Hear the voice inside my head telling me this is not the end. I'm seeing red. Do I die alive or dead? Hear the voice inside my head telling me this is not the end. I'm seeing. I'm seeing. I'm seeing red. I'm seeing red. I'm seeing red. Howdy ho!
What's up?
Welcome everybody. Welcome back to the Second Amendment Ranch. As always, I'm Cameron,
And I'm the Wizard of Bod.
And I'm Wally.
and he's finally letting that pubic hair grow out on his face. Finally,
Mm-hmm.
I have been.
yeah, it's getting past the scruffy. I mean, you're fighting a losing battle there, Wally.
Shut your mouth.
All right, I'll see y'all next week. Have a good night. Wally and Carl's got this.
Right.
Good night.
Yep,
So-
night.
Yeah.
Actually, we have a special guest for y'all tonight. Carl was kind enough not to, and y'all know how adamant I like to get about certain things, like HR 1808 coming up. But Carl wanted to save my blood pressure for special reasons, so he didn't even try to get me wound up today.
No.
He didn't even attempt it. He says our special surprise is going to do it enough for him.
So we'll see how confident Carl really is. But let's go ahead and introduce and bring her up. Kimberly Myers.
Moyers, Kimberly Moyers, and her husband Dakota.
Howdy, howdy.
Welcome to the show,
going,
Kimberly,
folks?
Dakota.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with that Myers because there's that Medal of Honor winner, Dakota Myers. And yeah, I got mistaken all the time when I was stationed in San Diego.
He got
Right.
free drinks.
I got,
you know,
I got free drinks. It's like, what's this?
but for the wrong
For
person.
the wrong person.
Yeah, that's not me, but cheers, man. Thanks. What do you mean that's not you? You owe me a drink. You bought it for me. You were under the wrong impression.
Right.
You're just stupid. Thanks.
Kimberly, Cameron and Wally haven't heard your story.
No.
So we want you to fill them in on what happened and what these red flags at the VA are all about.
So VA red flags, they've been around for a long time, but I first got mine. My first one was in 2016, and it was I asked for an appointment from the clerk. And whenever they feel like you hold them accountable to something, they get offended. And then they can feel threatened and then put a red flag on you. I didn't know how bad the red flag system was until I got arrested for it in Conroe, Texas. And with more and more research came out about, it was actually about guns, and it was actually about just pure on control of us veterans, that they can, take away our pay, they can take away our benefits. Right now, I do not have my benefits at the VA or full access to them. And I'm not getting my paid for my college either, but I'm still in my classes. So if you have like GI Bill, Voc Rehab, or your post 9/11, if they feel like it, they can take those out. But right now they're just trying to say, oh, it's a clerical error. I don't believe that worth a darn, because in the way of the delays that they're getting back to me, they've been notified this for over a month.
Yeah.
And still nothing.
Almost 2 months now, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can have, once your VA red flag on you, they stay on you. There's no way to appeal them when you go up before a board. They don't, you only can talk about what they want to talk about. You don't get to defend yourself when you go up to a board. If you ask for legal representation, they'll say, well, no, you can't do that because this is about doctors and everything. This has nothing to do with the legal system. And
how does that have nothing to do with the legal system? Now, I get the delay. I've been pushing for 100% disability for the previous year, and I finally have a case. And hearing about the red flags and that they can freeze your accounts and everything, why? What premise do you have to freeze my benefits when you accepted my claim X amount of years ago, continued paying me and treating me and paying for college and all this, and then suddenly now under almost Nazi Germany level dictatorship, we've got this joke over president right now that doesn't give a flying rat's ass about veterans. We've got a body of I don't want to say a governing body, but a health care body that's supposed to be responsible for taking care of veterans. But when it comes to trying to get any appointments, trying to get a disability, like once you get out, you do not get out the same condition you get in. I think every veteran should come out with a minimum of 10% disability off the bat. You're not coming out the same when you go in. It won't happen. But we signed that contract sacrificing our bodies, our mental health, our lives, everything. And then you want to turn around and say, yeah, you don't get this. No,
well,
what you're going to get is a boot up your ass if you don't fix my pay.
Yeah, and when you go in to contest that, I mean, that's the whole point. Even if you bring, you know, how it was in the military, if you bring a rule and regulation, you know, kick rocks, you know, you win. I mean, you can't go against a pub. But when you bring a publication up to the VA, at that point, they can just create a new policy. And then you're still wrong. The way that it works is that you cannot see the red flag at all. When you request the red flag and we go into My Healthy Vet, it's not there. Only they can see it. But what the weird thing is that when I requested it for Ted Cruz, they gave it to Ted Cruz. And what's really bad about this is in the red flag manuals, like I have them. I have the patient record flag manual, and I have this, which is the guidebook. They admit that where these reports came from is, let me read this section to you here. It's really sick.
So you got this red flag because you were requesting treatment.
Yeah. What upheld it, I'll get into that story because it's a really, really bad story. It says here, the FBI recommends the development and training of specialized multidisciplinary teams charged with gathering event reports, conducting threat assessments, and recommending risk mitigation actions to the organization's leadership. So my thing is when they, with these boards and report gathering, they turn our records over. Gun Owners of America does know this. They turn our records over to the NICS and the FBI. And in 2019, was it? Or was it 17? Let me look at it, the report here. Now, I don't have the list of the names on it. Yeah, it was 2019. There was a list of 250,000 veterans on that list and everything. And they can just sit there and take your guns like that.
They think they can.
Well, yeah. But
I'm sorry, but the majority of veterans that I meet and talk to and everything have plenty of built up rage and aggression where if you want to try and infringe on legal rights, God-given rights, and tell us how to live our life, you can't have guns. No. What do you mean no? No. Well, we're coming to take them. I mean, no.
I'm sorry about this. There's too many of our friends and our military buddies, and even when we go to gun ranges, no one there feels threatened.
No.
Not at all. I have not sit there and seen any of my veteran brothers and sisters like, oh, I want to go kill everybody. If that were the case, they'd be shooting up gun ranges because that's where they are.
There are more guns in America than there are people. There's 124.5 firearms per every 100 people per 100,000 per capita. So we have more guns. There's trillions of rounds of ammunition. Why we have these governing bodies buying up in the hundreds of thousands is confusing to me. Why do you need this much ammunition? But no, and there's also a 10.8 or 11.3 million veterans out right now. There's only 1.7 million enlisted people in America. The numbers don't work in your favor at all. Not only that, look at how many hunters there are in America that walk the same terrain constantly, looking for a brown animal in brown trees.
Well,
Shit's getting ready to hit the fan, especially when we look at HR 1808, the semi-automatic weapons ban, large capacity magazine ban. You're going to turn millions of Americans into felons, all because you're afraid of the big black scary gun.
It's not even that. It's actually HR 4350. If you looked at that, have you looked at HR 4350?
Oh God, more bills.
HR 350 is also bad. What it does, it lists
HR 350 or 4350?
4350, 259, or section 259.
Yeah, section 259. So
That one's horrible. And that's up. For right now, it's already passed the House, and that's for our military.
Oh, they don't even want to show the text for this bill off their. Oh, okay.
Well, it's a 1,200-page document. But you know, this is Obama. The manual here for the boards was President Obama in August 2012. And it's all about mass shootings. See, mass shootings guarding the attention of the media and the public, although they are not a new phenomenon and remain rare in American workplaces. Why is this in?
Well, don't forget, Obama also passed a bill that basically allows the mainstream media to lie and propagate whatever they want to the mass population without any repercussions.
Yeah, it's unnerving what it's in here. And it's just the verbiage that they use.
See,
and
my patience is wearing very, very thinly with all of this. And eventually somebody's going to snap, and knowing my temper, it's not going to take much more than this. And Tannerite is so fun.
Well, that's what they're saying. What started all of this is the Timothy McVeigh. That's why, because Timothy McVeigh is written all up in here in these publications, is to prevent it. And that's why we're going to be labeled as right-wing extremists.
No, they've already admitted that patriots are terrorists. They did that last year.
Mm-hmm. But it's
that's already come to fruition. They're trying to claim that red, white, and blue bleeding patriots are the problem, and that we need to have this open-mindedness for this transgenderism malarkey, to put it kindly.
And that's a place where women come last, and that's what really this.
Oh, and then look at how many people are getting caught actually being sexual predators from this, or how many are already been labeled as sex offenders and trying to get out of it by changing their names and everything. So no, we're living in a society where it's not it's mass hysteria at its finest, and eventually the ropes that are holding everything together are going to just give up, and violence will no longer be the answer. The answer will be yes, where violence is the question.
I mean,
but Kimberly, go on with your story. I mean, Cameron's got to listen to the rest of it while we got you on here.
Yeah, Carl was right. I can feel the veins starting to want to.
I feel you. I've been that way all day, to be honest.
I warned him ahead of time. I didn't get him riled up, or he'd be worse.
Well, my story actually, what started all of this is when I was pregnant during COVID-19. I didn't get any maternity care at all. I got a porta potty outside the VA in a Ford operating base, where they just had a tent set up. And I waited about 5.5 months and fought to get an appointment. During that time, they had discovered I had fibroid tumors and a villamentis cord, so my baby was in a lot of danger. And if you're over the age of 35, you are considered a geriatric pregnant, which makes you even more high risk. The reality is they didn't have the doctors that I needed. They tried to send me to Beaumont, dang near over to Waco, and where else?
I think one was in
Galveston.
Yeah.
And then they sent me to infertility specialists, that is to get pregnant. And they just had no idea what they were doing. And when you try to hold them accountable to their actions and stop, just will not take their excuses, the nurse and the staff, they're just like, oh, I'm so afraid of you. I feel threatened. Like, even if you ask them their name, what do you want my name for? What are you going to do with it? Well, I'm going to hold you accountable.
It doesn't matter what I want your name for. Legally speaking, you as a public servant are required by law. That's one thing that irritates me with cops. I don't have to give you my name and badge number. Actually, yes, legally you do.
Yes,
and you're refusing to give me that information. You've now committed a crime, so I can now hold you under citizen's arrest.
Right. So it was on January.
I feel like cops and VA reps were that bullied kid in high school and middle school that grew up, found a position where they could have some kind of authority, and they want to lord it over everybody.
Well, the thing is that they've been perfectly set up to do that, because in 2019 there was a hearing over VA police, and 4,000 out of the 5,000 of them were corrupt. The Senate hearing actually found that they had cops there that were raping and killing female veterans, and it's worse. They're not up to standard. So that's why they're trying to pass a Police Accountability Act, which it's passed the House and it's just sitting in the Senate right now.
Yeah. Thing is, why do we need to have an act to hold VA police accountable? It just escapes me.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to be a police? Okay, now you're a VA police officer. Don't rape anybody.
And here's the thing is that I don't even know why it's there, to be honest. State police can handle it the same way. If you kill somebody, if you break a law, the laws are the same constitutionally all the way around. But why the VA police are there is because they're in the branch. They can carry out executive orders and they can forego the justice system. So that's why they're there. But when I got to, it was January 6th, and it was the fake insurrection day, which was also my birthday.
Happy belated birthday.
I had gotten.
If they want to see I'm going to shut up before I get flagged myself.
Yeah, they had gotten so bad because the two heads of the community care were both named Michelle. They never gave me their last names. They never.
So the most dangerous man on the planet is a man that wants nothing but peace, has found his peace in his solitude. And when you deprive that man of what he has worked so hard to obtain and take away everything for him, there's not a damn thing on the planet to stop him from taking action, if you will. I have to ask you, sir, how have you remained so patient in this? And if you would hear and be mindful of how you phrase this, because I'm sure we've got some high NSA agent. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If you would have found out that one of those cops were to have raped your wife, I can't imagine you would be a very very well listening or mannered person at this point in time. Because if I ever dealt with something like that.
Well, the thing is, I have two very good friends named Heckler and Cock that I would have introduced them to. So it was, yeah, that would have been my go-to. Just
see, you're thinking too small.
Yeah, probably am, but
I'm not going to suggest Tannerites and trebuchets or teach you how to make Molotov cocktails or napalm. Oh God!
You do what? You can learn how to make a Molotov cocktail just watching a movie. That's not.
Here's the thing.
Yes, and the mainstream media also taught everybody how to make Molotov cocktails, chloroform, mustard gas. Yeah.
Well,
I'm also a huge fan of history, and I'm still wanting to test a theory with a trebuchet and a big block of angry Play-Doh. I might not be able to approach your building very easily, but I'm going to send it. Oh, God, Carl, I got a headache already.
I know. Let her go on with her
That's
story.
but you know
She's got a
what?
lot to tell you.
Sounds like.
Well, so when January 6th, the fake riot happened, she called me back. She was giving the same excuses. They were rude. She didn't care and everything. And it was boom, she got offended. And then boom, the red flag came. And then they actually called OIG involved.
Well, they hired a snowflake.
Yeah.
They hired us. That's what it comes down to. They hired somebody soft to deal with
Oh, yeah.
victims.
Because here's the thing is that she said, well, I feel so threatened. Well, my dad worked in the high up in the government. And I told her, that my dad can actually do something about this because of where I didn't tell her where the position where she was in, but here's the thing is that if it's true, when a veteran dies at the VA by the VA's freaking hands, they always get sued. What do you think it's going to happen? The girl deserved jail time. She put my child at risk. She put me at risk. I don't understand this. Is like where she thought that she could just get away with it, do her damage to me, do her damage to my child, which they did do damage to my child because she did end up in the ICU. And then I have pictures. My mom has pictures. My hands were black. My feet were black. My respiratory system crashed because I didn't get the proper care. I didn't have the proper staff at the hospital. I didn't have the proper doctor.
And people wonder why we don't go to the VA for help ever. Mental health, physical health, emotional health. The second we try and do all right. So a little background about me. I got diagnosed with I'm not going to post it out here, but I have my little up here. And as soon as they diagnosed me, have a good life. Bye. Never heard from them again in years until I started pushing for my 100% disability. And then they started denying shit left and right. This is what happens when we cater to soft, weak-willed individuals. And when we speak our minds, when we get pissed, we're flagged as the bad guy. You were in a critical condition with a child in critical condition. And they looked at it like, eh.
Well, they called OIG on me. And OIG came up and he told me what I did is a federal offense and it is a felony because it is considered a terroristic threat. And I told him, I had to do that because I needed to get you. And really, that's why I did it. It was to get him. I knew from the past instances of 2016, if you sit there and hold them accountable, if you sit there and have them placate to them to where they get offended, that's going to happen. But I did not know that. Well, when OIG got there, sorry, I'm looking at my baby. She's playing around.
Disorganizing cancer.
Pay attention to the cute thing because I'm just going to
Sorry, I just gotta watch it at the same time.
You're just going to watch me turn more and more red and get a little more hostile.
Yeah. But what happened is this. OIG showed up and I talked to him on the phone and he said, wait a minute, they're not getting you care. And I was like, yes, his office was closed downtown. I couldn't put in an OIG report. It takes months so they can actually get that report to their desk and actually do that. And I told him there isn't enough time. Okay, I'm 5.5 months pregnant. I need something now. Okay, you've got to go now. So at that point, he said, okay, well, we're just not even going to worry about that. You need help. And he was really cool about it. So he contacted the VA and he got the same freaking information as I did. And I'll be honest with you, the guy is a guy. So he didn't know the ins and outs when he just thought, I guess, oh, you just need an OBGYN and that's that. Good. We got you one. No, I didn't need an OBGYN. And the OBGYNs that they gave me, they were like, we can't handle that. We don't know what to do. You need a specialist. So it was a nightmare. So, and then on top of that, even the OBGYNs I did say, okay, let's just go there and let's get something. They never sent my paperwork to them. So I could be seen.
Yeah, she needed a maternal fetal medicine doctor, which just by her age alone, she was going to need, not counting all the rest of her disabilities that happened, that's going on with her. And the thing is, the VA just loses the paperwork on all is wrong with her. And every time she calls them, it's just like, oh, well, I don't know you. Well, you should be pulling my shit up.
They don't read, and it's right in front of them. But here's the thing. They'll read that PRF. They'll read that red flag. It's all flashy for them. And here's the thing on that PRF, they even admit it in the manual that it's unethical. Check this. For either reason, it is inappropriate to use a PRF in the absence of a clerk rift or safety. The use of a patient red flag can be ethically problematic for two reasons. First, a PRF stigmatizes patients, labeling them as difficult whether for clinical or behavioral reasons. Second, a PRF compromises privacy because it reveals private patient information to anyone who opens the patient chart. Well, honestly, it goes to anyone at this point because, well, I'll get to that and address that in a second. But pretty much afterwards, that happened. OIG turned me over to the Senate Committee of Veteran Affairs, and they were just like, holy shit, this is bad. Then the VA kept feeding them the same crap and everything and said, well, here's a list. And then like I called the numbers on the list that they gave me of doctors in my area. One went to like a janitor's cell phone. Then on top of that, one of the buildings didn't exist at all. And we actually went to the community care.
We went to a few of these spots where they said they're basically supposed to be urgent care facilities, just out and about all over Houston and everything, right? And we went to these facilities. These buildings are abandoned. They're shut down. They're not what they say they are. We went to a Mi Clinica, just a Mexican health clinic that does not speak English whatsoever, and it's listed there as a VA community care center. Another one was in the middle of its grand opening, had banners everywhere, hadn't even locked its doors to the public.
And they're getting funded for these buildings, and we're supposed to have access. There's supposed to be urgent cares in there. But that's what they do is they have this list and they send it up to the government. See, we do have care, but they don't exist. It's crazy. So fast forward, basically the push from the Senate committee did nothing. But during that time, they passed the Deborah Sampson Act, which is guaranteeing me VA care that I already had as a woman. So it was just a waste of taxpayer money for a historic bill for women that just didn't need to exist because they're supposed to have that. DeBakey, Michael E. DeBakey VA here in Houston, they don't have a labor and delivery department, but they have a trans unit. Okay. So women, again, are on the back burner, as usual.
But if you chop your dick off, you get head of the line privileges.
I mean, if you just want to do that, I can put you to the front of the line right here and now. I'm not going to say I'm going to treat the aftermath of it, but I'll cut it off for you. You obviously don't need to reproduce in the first place.
Well, fast forward until May 18th. Well, actually, no, in February. Because of Tester, John Senator Tester, and Trump's historic Deborah Sampson's Act, they appointed a new women's director. She called me and she said that, oh, I am so sorry. We totally messed up your case. Our sincere apologies. That was not right what they did. And then she said that we'll do everything in our power to make this up to you, blah, 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 blah. Full of sorry.
Her ad, blowing
but
smoke.
I really don't think she was lying. I really believe she was sincere about it. She really wanted to do her job. And the thing is that she finally got the power to do it. But here's the thing. She thought she had the power to do it, but she doesn't. And that's the thing is I do feel sorry for the VA doctors because they are being just as much controlled.
Yes, sir.
Even in the records department. Like we had a buddy. I've had a VA employee in my house for 2 years who does claims. And the bullshit that if he speaks up against something, he can get in trouble. And they have to cover all these checks boxes, but a lot of the veterans
Kim?
This veteran's not in this checkbox system. This veteran needs everything. They can't get this help. These workers, and then they actually get punished on a 90-day probation. Some of them have actually had to stop their jobs and go work at an unloading dock as a punishment. So the VA employees are getting punished too under the system.
Mhm.
And they're just up and quitting because they can't do their jobs, and a lot of them want to.
Well, it's because they don't want them to do their jobs. Look at the police that get report corrupt cops. They fire them. They find some way to blackmail them. Same process. I finally got a group that said, look at the DAV and TVC, Texas Veteran Commission Disabled.
Yeah,
that group. They will push your claim for you, but as soon as they put it through, they're like hands off. They don't give a crap because the ones I've dealt with don't.
Because I actually know a couple of TVC reps, and they're only in it for the show. Look, I help veterans.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I know one that worked out of Tomball.
Yeah,
he was
awesome.
awesome. But the thing is, he was so stressed all the time. The guy had a heart attack.
Yeah.
And he was a volunteer.
Because of his heart attack,
he had to quit.
He had to force retire.
Because he was so passionate and would not put up with their bullcrap.
And anytime, and it's not just for the VA employee, anytime we put somebody that's willing to do something, they're getting them out of there as quickly as they possibly can. Every time. Oh, you actually want to help? No. We don't do that here. We just make it look like we help. Calm down. Well, no, I'm actually going to make a difference. Yeah, we're going to frame you for some crap and get you fired.
Yeah, I feel sorry I do feel sorry for the employees. But here's the thing. And then, so you have employees that are good, but then you have the ones that are there just for a paycheck. And that's because of Obama's Second Chance Act. He let criminals work in the VA. And you know what? And I guarantee you, that's kind
of. And they can control them. You keep your job as long as you keep denying people what they want or need.
Well, they don't even have to do that. They're just literally told, well, I can't get fired, so I'm going to do what I want. And they just sit there and they're lazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what happens. They don't even have to sit there and tell them to do it. They're going to be that way by nature.
Oh, I've had employees work under me that have attempted to be lazy. Irritates, get off your phone, go clean something, go do something, go check this, go check that, go help out here or there. If I see it progress, go home. Oh, I get to go home? Yeah, you get to go home, but you're not getting paid for the whole day. You're getting paid for 3 hours. That's how long you were here. Go home. Well, that's not right. Then do your job. Get off your ass, get off your phone, get off your computer, and do what you're supposed to do.
Oh, yeah.
That crap irritates the sin out of me. Watching people, I have sacrificed my body at damn near every job. My second to last job should have killed me about 5 different times. Ended up crippling me more than anything because it aggravated the degenerative disease and then crushed out a disc. So now I'm missing a disc. I haven't been pain free in half a decade. Can't get help through work comp. Can't get help through the VA. Can't get help through anybody. So it's turned to the point, hey, man, you got weed? Yep. Give me some. Well, you never smoke. Yeah. But I'm tired of being on painkillers.
Yeah, and
they love throwing candy at. Here's some pills. Shut up and leave us. We're treating you. No, you're not. You're killing me. Yeah. That's what these pills are. You force feeding me these highly addictive substances are just going to kill me. When I started, I found out I was getting addicted to Norco really quickly. I flushed it down the toilet. Like, nope.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing this shit.
Yeah, I was getting Percocets. I was getting Dilaudid. I was getting Narcos because I was like part of the waiting list scandal, 10 years ago? Mm-hmm. And because I had to get my legs done. I have like zippers down my legs.
Yeah, nightmare that is gabapentin.
And yeah, that's what they would do is I remember they would hand me 90 Narcos.
I got 120 hydrocodone over by my bed right now.
They don't work, and everything. No. And they cause so much more damage.
Yeah, they do make me drowsy.
Mhm.
Cool, I get to sleep finally. But
Yeah,
for
but they
pain
wear
and-
off so quick once you adapt to them.
Oh, if I fight through the drowsy, I can't sleep anymore.
Yep.
It's done. I'm getting drowsy. I should probably go to bed. No, I don't want to go to bed just yet. Well, now I'm not sleeping for the night. Here we go again.
Well, getting back to what happened.
Yes,
So
I'm so
I know we could talk about this forever
Yeah.
because it is a problem.
okay.
It's not just me.
Before we continue on, one of the things we like to do for the show is a gun fail. I actually have 2 today. They are quick. We like to show what not to do when dealing with things that go boom. So, all right, Carl, I got 2 for today.
Okay, get him up.
This one's actually more if you'd be so kind to enlarge me, Carl.
Okay.
Grassy ass. This is more of a gun win. Time to reload.
I've seen this.
That's what everybody needs right there.
Teamwork makes the dream work. This next one is entirely a gun fail. Do not be the stupid. Keep your booger hooks off the bang button. Although this does wonders for natural selection.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Right in the pecker. Right in the giblets. Yep, you will not be able to reproduce anymore. Thank
You're
God.
done.
Yep, you're done.
Oh,
He won't do that again.
no, he won't.
His
Doesn't
kids
have
won't
the-
do it either.
Doesn't have the ability to do that again. Now I need a small friend I can put in a backpack.
Right.
Put Carl on your
Reloading!
back.
So, Kimberly, continue on.
Well, so after the whole debacle with going up to the Senate committee and they were getting lied to, it was on where I got to the hospital. I remember emailing. I actually have the email, and it's just
all of it. Everything at this point is going to be evidence.
yeah, I have all of it. It just says I remember emailing Senator John Tester's office, and it said you failed. My baby's in the ICU. That was the last of the emails. And, you know, I will tell you this. The lady that was helping me was Miss Teresa. I mean, when I went into labor and everything, she was still at the office. And how late was it, Dakota? Midnight, like 2 a.m. And she was still there trying to get me help. This woman worked after hours in the office.
What a lot of people don't understand, it's not like the movies. It's
Yeah.
not a doctor's not gonna come and help you just because they're out of the kindness of their heart. They're not gonna, there's too much liability. You know, if something
Actually,
goes-
no, that's exactly what happened at Memorial Hermann.
Really? Because
Yeah.
I have never had a doctor, and I have had appointments left and right for the past 4.5 years, and not one of them's like, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and do this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's my little
Exactly
sweetie.
what happened though. We had Dr. Ortega, and he made it very clear,
familiar.
just screw the consequences. This baby needs my help. And you could tell he really loves children.
Why does that sound familiar?
And he totally brought her here and everything. And
Caesar Ortega?
I think so.
why? Yeah, that does sound pretty familiar.
Why does that sound familiar to me?
See, you see him at UT Memorial Hermann.
It doesn't show me a photo of him.
He's an older guy. Yeah, I'd say he's in his 50s, maybe 60s.
I'll have to ask my parents about that. Name sounds. I can't find a photo. I'm terrible with names. I'm great with faces. I don't know.
But continue on, Kimberly.
Well, I I had a nasty nurse because she felt that I was neglectful to my child because I did not get care for her. They called CPS on me. CPS showed up 2 weeks later trying to get my kid from me. And then that's when Harris County actually stepped in. And he's like, the officer took that to CPS officer and says, you can't take a baby. You can't call CPS when the baby's in the womb, is what he said, because that would be suggested that they have to take the baby right there. You can't call her an unfit mother at that point because she hasn't had a child yet. So, and then I told him everything that happened. And then they went over to Memorial Hermann, and the nurse no longer works there at this. And if you look at my medical record, has a line struck through it. She told all these lies that are completely untrue. So, but after that, February, the Trump's appointed women's health director, she called me, said everything was fine. She encouraged me to go and start using the VA again.
Mhm.
Act is passed and funded because I did not get any prenatal care. Beatrice had to get her calcium somewhere. She went after my teeth. So I have a tooth cracked in half here, and there's a pus pocket right in here. So I went in, I was like, if I'm slurring a bit or I mispronunciate, because my tongue keeps catching on that sharp edge of my tooth. So I went in to the VA, and I get there, and they told me, the cop's like comes out, and he's like, yo, you can't, he's like yelling, dude. He said, you can't be here. All right, thing, you're only supposed to come here if my life depended on.
Oh yeah, life or death situations.
Life or death situations. And I was completely shocked because I was like, oh my gosh. At that point, I looked at Dakota and I was like, here we go again. Here we go again.
Yeah.
Just something. It's always going to be something. And I was like, I told the VA police officer, put it in writing. I want that in writing. Hand that to me that I cannot be here. And I told him that I want so I can have this and I can have my day in court. So he goes back and he calls Conroe police. And he said, Conroe police comes up. They pretty much say, well, it's like a bakery. When a bakery asks you to leave. And I'm like, this is the VA. I'm the veteran. They work for me. They are my benefit. He didn't understand it, but I have a video of it. I can't show it right now because I'm going to court Monday is the big fight. And this cop just did not get it. For one, that he was actually in a federal facility. He didn't have jurisdiction in there. He couldn't arrest me in there. And that two, I was kind of like in a catch-22. If I would have left, that cop would have taken it as, or the VA would have taken it as that I admit to my wrongdoings, that I also agree to the terms by leaving. I had no choice but not to agree with their terms. I had to stand my ground. And then on top of that, the VA, the Conroe police officer just had no idea what he was doing because he even wrote a red flag in the police report. In Texas, they have red flags. They can't carry it out.
The cop, I can't agree with the cop going through 6 to 9 months of training, trying to enforce the law when lawyers take 4 to 6 to 8 years to be able to practice law. Like, how does this make you're supposed to enforce it. You don't understand veterans' disabilities. I hope you win, and I hope you sue the ever-loving hell out of the police department that tried to tell you to leave, for one, because they didn't know what the hell they were doing. And then I hope you go after the VA. And I really hope this goes viral and lets everybody know what kind of crap veterans have to deal with. So for all the civilian viewers, what y'all don't understand, when we sign our name on that dotted line, we're essentially signing a check up to and including our own lives. And y'all like to say Happy Veterans Day and Happy Memorial Day. Happy Veterans Day is fine. As a veteran, Memorial Day is not happy for me.
No, it's not.
It's
Absolutely
not, no.
not. It's a Remembrance Day.
So y'all being cheerful and barbecuing and everything like that, don't call us and text us Happy Memorial Day. We're out drinking somewhere, trying to drown whatever sorrows we have. We're isolating. We're trying to remember or forget those that we have served with or those that we have made friends with and lost because they gave up. And y'all don't understand. Like, the VA was supposed to be there to help with these problems. And they're not. This is ground zero of proof showing y'all that the VA will do everything in their power. I had to, so a little bit about just mine's not nearly as dramatic, or not dramatic, I apologize, but as cancerous as yours is. But I was been filing for my disability raise for the past about 2 months. And damn near every week they were, hey, we need this evidence. We need this evidence. And then it came down to I was submitting each file would go back into the VA.gov. Oh, you need this one now. Okay. Send that off. Oh, well, you filled that one out. Somebody need you to fill this one out. Okay, here you go. All right. Well, now we also need this. Just trying to check or tick off the time that I had before they could completely deny my claim. Even though they were submitting that I needed a new form, my timer still went 12 days, 10 days, 9 days, 8. It would keep going down every new form that they wanted from me. It wasn't an automatic reset. So I had to get all this set up. All within a month. Mind you, I got the actual paper letter snail mail on the 11th. It was dated for the 1st of this month. So there's already 10 days. I don't have to do what I need to do. They don't email, they don't text, they don't call, they don't do the most efficient means possible.
They're
because
required to in their publications, and they don't. Like, here's the thing: is that they sent the letter to Ted Cruz, because Ted Cruz is actually investigating this. When a senator puts in an inquiry against the VA, it's in writing. They have 30 days. They purposely denied that. They took almost 60 days to get back to Ted Cruz. But I think because they knew I only had a limited time to fight this. Because here's the thing: if they would have got back in 30 days, Ted Cruz could have put his rebuttal in and done more investigating, and they knew they would have been caught.
Oh yeah. If I was Ted Cruz, I would be putting in one every single day. And then if they refuse, 60 days. Why did it take you too long? Okay, well, now here's another one. This one better be done in the time frame. Otherwise, I'm going to do everything within my power to figure out what the hell y'all are doing. Because if you are purposefully denying speaking to me, what are you doing to the veterans you're supposed to help?
They're not doing anything. I tell you what, there was a news report, a month and a half ago about the wait times at the Temple VA. It's everywhere. They're doing the same thing back with the last waiting list scandal. They're back. It's the COVID waiting list scandal now.
So on my paperwork, they're saying because of COVID-19 in February of 2020, over 2 years ago, they're trying to state that we cannot schedule CMP exams. You haven't updated this in 2 years?
Yeah, they're supposed to, because here's the thing. So my friend who worked for the VA, my case, what I went through, it just made him downright quit. He's just so pissed because of the stuff he's seeing. He was used to getting like 40 or 50 and he was working here at my house, VA, using my internet. He would get like 40 files a day, right? Wasn't it, Dakota?
Yeah.
And now he's like 4 to 5. They're slowing it down on purpose. And the thing is that they have these. They hire temp agencies. The temp agency is just like, nah, I don't care. I don't know what it says because they're not trained. And here's the thing: these temp agencies don't swear in, so they don't have to sit there and tell the truth. VA employees actually have to swear in, like we did when we enlisted.
Right.
Yeah. We all swore an oath to protect this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And it sounds like we're sitting on a fence at this point in time with the VA.
Oh, I guarantee you that. And I'll be honest with you with mental health. I think it's so funny that I think Obama pushed mental health and everything.
Oh, no. He pushed mental health.
Just so we could do us mentally defective and take
Yeah,
away our
exactly. And now Biden's pushing for mental health for these transgender people. And now I'm seeing these people that can't even look down their pants and figure out if they're a man or a woman say, we've earned our flag. What have you done for yours? I don't know. Why don't we go through the history books? This flag has plenty of holes, scars, and blood. That flag doesn't fly because of the wind. That flag flies from every breath of a fallen soldier, sailor, Marine, airman. That's why that flag flies. You haven't earned shit.
But Kimberly, go ahead and finish when you got arrested at the VA by the county and continue on because Cameron hadn't heard the rest of the story.
That's because Cameron wants to set shit on fire.
When I got to the county jail, I was there for 30 hours without food. And then right now, and that's pretty much where we're at, is that I was taken to jail. I was arrested. And the thing is that the DA just has no idea what they're doing whatsoever. And I don't understand why. I don't understand how corrupt even the lawyers are. I mean, I love my lawyer very much.
You're being charged in two different courts, though.
Yes,
right?
I am being charged in federal court as well. So Monday I go to city and state, and that's what's in the HR 4350. Okay, veterans, you're doubly fucked. Okay, I go to city, then I go to federal court. So I'm being paid. So what a normal civilian would cost them to get to fight their court case, I have to pay double because I'm in two courts.
Right. On trespassing charges, right?
Yeah, that's what they're doing. They put it on trespassing. And so once you get a trespass, so you can't go to any VA because you're on a trespass.
Yep.
But like
so what do you
said,
do if you're like in a car wreck and a cop brings you up there to the VA in an ambulance and you're unconscious? Oh, she can't go here. She's trespassing, and I guarantee you they're that petty. They'll sit there. Oh, take her to jail.
Oh, 100%. Unconscious on a gurney in the back of an ambulance. Y'all brought her here? Yeah. She's trespassing now. She's unconscious. Yeah. She's still trespassing. We're calling the cops. She's dying.
Yeah, they did that. They did that in Gainesville to a veteran. He was dying, and he died like in the ambulance because they couldn't decide, well, is he a veteran or isn't he? And then turns out after he died, oh, he was seen here in January. Oops.
And if y'all don't think they'd love to screw every veteran, you're wrong. There is a veteran living off the grid. He had solar panels. He had bought a property. 100% disabled veterans do not have to pay property taxes.
In Texas.
In Texas. And yeah, so very few states, but Texas is one of them. I want to say he was in North Texas. So he owned the property, didn't have to pay taxes, didn't have to pay electricity, collecting rainwater, ran off well water, didn't pay anything. They confiscated his land, his mobile home, everything. He was growing his own crops. He was hunting on his own property. So he had to pay for nothing. I think they owned one car for the family because they just didn't want to go anywhere. And because he wasn't paying taxes, even though he had absolutely no obligation to pay any taxes, they arrested him and confiscated his entire life. When it comes to the veterans, we have the ability to disappear very easily. But when we disappear, they want to find us so they can make us pay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So if you don't think that they just don't give a shit about Kim here, or taking months to go back to a disability, because the funny thing is, oh, you're disabled, here's 90% for the rest of your life. You get worse as you get older. So eventually I'm going to get to the point where I will no longer be able to do any kind of a job because I'm just going to be bedridden for the rest of my life. They don't give a crap about that. Oh, no, you're still at 90%. Dude, I can't walk. It doesn't matter. You didn't need your legs anyways. You're 50 years old. 50, not 150, you cunt. Shit. This
Now,
is how they
Kimberly-
treat every single one of us when it comes to anything.
I've got a question for Kimberly. I've heard you on several shows. What kind of ship were you on when you got injured, and how did you get injured?
I wasn't on a ship. I'm aviation. So I attached and I detached. I was actually in a hangar. Well, actually, my first. So it's a multiple of injuries that led up to this.
Uh-huh.
So I was doing what's called a fartlek run. I was with a bunch of Marines. And,
Oh, that's always a scary thought.
oh yeah. So
Hey, go work with the Marines. No.
our aviation school. We weren't. My instructors were not Navy; they were Marines because we needed to fill spots. So they stuck us in with a Marine Corps class because there was only 2 of us Navy females. So we went out to PT one morning in the front of the field. Now the groundskeepers are supposed to keep that field just in pristine condition. Yeah, to prevent injuries. But what they did is when they mowed the grass, they packed a hole full of loose grass and it froze that night. And of course, freaking staff sergeant was like, okay, everyone, we're PTing at 4 a.m. and it's icy and wet still. So what happened is I was running and I slipped, my foot slipped into that puddle of ice into the hole with all the wet grass and my body kept going.
Oh.
And so I remember I just kept running. I fell and I heard snap. And then I just rolled and I finished the fartlek. And I remember looking at Staff Sergeant. I said, I think I broke my ankle. And she goes, oh, like fucking hell you did. I heard that thing go off the building.
No, I know it's broken. Go to the hospital now.
So I was sitting there and I was like, my buddy Malin, I was riding his back and my freaking leg my ankle is just swinging like this.
Your leg's not supposed to do that. What's it doing?
No, I wasn't
Don't
crying
look.
or anything.
That's
I mean,
because your
like,
brain, you were in a state of shock.
Yeah.
Your mind hasn't registered what's happened yet. Your body is still running on autopilot. The problem is when people are in shock, when you see the injury, it immediately just pulls you right back to reality. It's like, oh, that's not the that's it. You look at it, game over.
Well, just like afterwards, I went to the hospital and they're like, oh, it's a sprain. And I was like, no, it's not. Well, there's no swelling. Well, I've never swell when I break something or I get injured. Like my mom knows that. She thinks it's just a freakishly thing that I do. And so they just kept saying it wasn't, it was 3 months. I would be walking and I would just fall over. And I didn't know why. And it was so painful. Cam boot. I couldn't function without the cam boot because it wouldn't hold my leg up straight. So I went to Mayport and I saw the flight surgeon there after I graduated A school. Of course, surgeon at Mayport, he's like, they're supposed to keep you there. When you're broken, you're not supposed to transfer. And I was like, but I did transfer. I transferred TAD. So I was at a temporary duty assignment. but I was supposed to go all the way to San Diego, which I had no idea why I didn't go to San Diego. So that's when I was like 3 months later, I looked down in my freaking flight surgeon and said, hey, your ankle's broken. I was like missing this much bone out of it, the tip of my thumb there. And all my ligaments had been ripped out. Everything. And so it's just like there was nothing holding the ankle
Anything together?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it looked like Jello.
Yeah. I was so required to work on it. And we put
They did that to my sister. My sister was an officer in the Air Force, and she broke her hip, and they made her work through it.
They don't have x-rays on ship. He broke his hip too.
Yeah, I broke mine.
Yeah, y'all think, all right, civilians, y'all think we got great health care, great food, great mental treatment? Bullshit!
But
if you go to the wrong hospital enlisted, you get the entire medical bill. Ask me how I know. Alcohol poisoning's a bitch.
It went just like that through the whole time. Even when I transferred, no one would take responsibility when I was in the military for it, and it just got worse and worse. I broke it a second time, and then they did the surgery.
The second time, it just continuously kept breaking from what was trying to heal.
They did the surgery, and it wasn't done right.
Oh.
And then I didn't find that out until I got to the VA. Because I actually had good care in San Diego. My VA doctor was excellent.
Yeah,
La Jolla VA was awesome.
I had a great dentist in the military, but that was about it. My doctors were
the thing is
so helpful.
I continued to work on my left ankle, so I sat there and was damaging my entire right leg and putting too much pressure on it, and I weakened my right leg.
Yep.
So just bad things happen, and eventually my right leg gave out, and I had torn all the ligaments in the right ankle. So I was sitting there in a wheelchair by the time it was over and done with. So a lot of injuries, multiple injuries had happened.
It's just because they just kept
putting off care and putting off care and putting off care.
Yeah.
And then once I finally retired out, that's what I found out, is that the Navy couldn't do the surgery because they had no one in the Navy to actually do the surgery that I
want to contract you out because it would be too expensive.
Well, because my surgery was relatively new.
Oh shit! You did all sorts of Okay.
So yeah, because my buddy Preston, he had the same injury as me. They amputated. Well, what he did, he just sat in his wheelchair. Unfortunately, I kept moving because I was like, move it or you lose it. He developed gangrene, and they cut his leg off above his knee. And then I just decided that was just not going to happen.
No.
And he only had one injury. I had two. So,
but you do know how badly you have to fuck up to make a new procedure happen?
No, there was already in development for this procedure because they use it for soccer players.
Okay, that makes I was about to say, when you broke it, you didn't just break it, you exploded it.
Yeah, it's a very common break for soccer players, but
sliding tackles for the ball.
Yeah. So what it is that it was still kind of like under an experimental phase to get these athletes back into duty. However, when they did the surgeries, I lost the complete feeling of my feet.
Oh, that's see, with my back injury, my biggest concern is if damage persists, my right leg will become paralyzed and I'll become incontinent.
Wow.
So what'd you do to your shoulder? You showed that.
Oh, when I went down, when I went down, I dislocated my shoulder. And what happened with the shoulder is that they did I remember when the EMTs were there, they relocated it right then and there.
There's a law that each medically trained profession has one chance to reset your injury. if it's a dislocation, any kind of a dislocation, ankle, foot, toe, each medical trained professional. So me being medic first aid, I get a chance. The ambulance shows up, get a chance. The nurse gets a chance. The doctor gets a chance. And you will cause so much damage for that. Thankfully,
oh no, my EMT. So okay, my EMT was FMF. Okay, but he was civilian, and I actually knew my my EMTs because they were actually right next to my barracks, and they were watch over me because they were like, "This is dumb. She's in a fucking wheelchair. Why is she up in a 5-foot thing?" Because they would watch me crawl. I had to crawl to my room because there was no elevator. So they would always, I remember they would go over, they got the wheelchair from dental clinic, and they would put, before I had a wheelchair, they brought one to me. So they were on watch because they were pissed on how dumb this was. So they were, when I got there, I remember looking up at them. They're like, I knew it. I knew this was going to happen. All right, Barbara, I got you. I got you. And I remember when he sat there and he did the little twist thing. And then he's like, good night. Boom. Out.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I had excellent EMTs, hands down. And they actually cared. So no.
The only good thing about surgeries are the drugs they give you, because you wake up feeling just so happy.
Actually, I'm allergic to opiates, so no.
Ooh, that sucks.
So
when I had a sit the name, so I have a scar right here along my collarbone where the day I got discharged, the day I got my DD-214, head back to my house, my shoulder started bothering me. I'm like, what the hell? And I felt there was a little lump about the size of a pea. And 1 week, it grew to the size of a golf ball. VA denied responsibility. Well, you're discharged.
Yeah, but your discharge is at 11:59 that night.
Like, what the hell? It happened on my way home. Like, I hadn't even been out of the Navy 24 hours and I had a medical condition.
But you're not out of the Navy until 11:59 that night, even though you have the paperwork.
And they denied
it. In the order.
Yep, they denied it.
See, that's the thing is like I read the fine print.
They refused to treat me. And that was when I got my first real scare of my life, because the civilian doctor turned around and said, it looks like you have cancer. Like, oh.
Would you have an enchondroma?
Well,
they just told me it was a severe infection.
Because mine was an enchondroma, and that was in my
Yep. Well, we never said the military was smart.
No.
Who in their right mind in the Navy puts a 6'3", 300+ pound man?
240. I was 240 pounds.
Okay, I'm gonna let you know. I have my buddy Locklear. He's over 7 feet tall.
Locklear.
Boy didn't never fit in a rack.
Oh, I had a dude on my second command, 7'2" on a sub. 7 foot, he could stand in
that ain't
one
right.
No. And y'all wonder why we developed such a love for alcohol.
I can't drink either. And I know that's sacrilegious for a sailor. My nickname was 4 ounces.
It's okay. I drink for the both of us.
Oh, well, I'm pretty sure I made up.
I'm part Asian, and it really shows when I drink. I can't hold my liquor at all. I can be drunk on one beer, dude. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, that's why he dated you, because you were a cheap date.
Yeah, keep it easy. I got it.
But everybody in the chat room, get that hashtag in. Here in a couple minutes, we're going to be giving away a Trump flag. So,
but I do want to give you something. I know it's not all doom and gloom. Is that we do have people that are fighting for us, and Senator Ted Cruz wants. He said, "Tell me this." He wants every veteran he can in his office here in Houston. It's open door. He wants them in there. He wants to hear their stories, any troubles that they are having with the VA. He wants them.
Cameron's searching it right now.
And the phone number. So, and the number that he has is 713-718-3688. 3057.
Hold on.
So if you can go down to Smith Street
Hold
as
on,
well.
hold on. Let me get that number. Whoa. I'm.
He's
Is that
slow.
like
slow
is
on the
that
phone.
his direct?
That is not his direct phone number. It's basically it's going to skip all of the normal people that are the gatekeepers.
Yeah.
So 713
Mm-hmm. 718
718.
3057.
It basically goes to the machine in his office.
Right.
No, this is his Houston office phone number.
Yeah.
So
I'll be having a conversation with Mr. Cruz soon.
But if you're in Houston though, he wants you directly in his office.
Yeah, in person.
And you're in Houston, Cameron.
I am.
Go in Houston. And if you have any other buddies, tell them, bring them with you. The more veterans he has, the more that he can actually investigate Michael E. DeBakey VA. And that's what he wants.
I'm gonna see about having. I don't have a lot of other veteran friends down here, but I do have a podcast that I would like to try. Hey, Mr. Cruz, would you mind if I record our conversations?
You know he's not going to do that, right?
No, he won't do that.
He won't.
Because here's the thing: there's a time and a place with it. There's some strategy to this that we have to do. Because he is such a bulldog. Remember, he's taking it from a lot of fronts, especially on immigration right now.
That's why you tell him whenever you give me a phone call or an email or message, I'd like to post. You don't say I'm going to post it immediately. Whenever the fight's over, let everybody see what kind of conversation you had with him.
But
I mean, yeah,
anyway,
he won't mind that, but just wait till it's over.
Exactly.
Right.
That's
just
what
go
I'm
down
saying.
to his office and tell him you're a veteran and explain your situation.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's like what the best person that he'll send you to is his directors. That's who. So this is to his Southeast the Texas Deputy Regional Director's office. So you're not going to talk to Ted Cruz directly, and you're going to skip all the little people.
right.
Is what it is, because usually you have all these little bitty people in the way. No, you're like under his. So there's a Texas and the Senator District is split into regions. You're really on board.
So you're talking to the guy who has direct access.
Instead of Ted Cruz's office kind of thing.
Instead of an intern who reports to a secretary, who reports to a head secretary.
They're playing telephone and passing on information and
Yeah.
getting it butchered and bastardized.
And he's pretty thorough, because what they'll do is they'll have you write a statement out, and then they can go in and investigate the VA.
Well, Cameron, we got to get ready. to
I
shut this
know.
show down. Well, we got the other show next, or you
I know.
cancel it. We can, if she wanted to stay on.
No, I know Wally's looking forward to Alabama.
I know. But Kimberly, I want to thank you very much for coming on all the shows on the Bill of Rights Network and tonight.
Thank you
And
for having me.
whenever you can come on and update us more, just send me a message.
And if you ever want to learn how to make fun things,
Fun stuff.
yeah, just let me know.
Right. If you need anything, contact him over there.
How many etch a sketches?
Wherever he is.
Yeah,
Oh my
down below
gosh.
you. Because he's down there in the Houston area and stuff. And I don't think you guys are that far apart, really. But
I'm in Cyprus.
Yeah, what part are you in? Cameron?
Same.
You're in Cyprus?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
And she froze again.
you froze, Kimberly.
Do you know where Town Lake is?
You talking about the one with the taco shop and World of Beer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the
it's,
drive right there with the World of
about-
Beer and the taco shop.
That's,
You turn
that's
left,
about,
and that's the neighborhood.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
about 10 minutes from me.
Oh,
Yeah. Easy day.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I mean, if y'all want to come over and talk shop and guns, I've got plenty. You can ask Carl to test.
We'll put it this way. You see his green screen behind him?
Mm-hmm.
That don't match what he's got. He could fill probably 3 of them green screens full.
Close.
But yeah, I figured you guys were close by. I didn't know what part, because Houston's a big area and stuff. Just like when I was down there, we went over Simple Man and TDC on the other side of Houston and everything. So, but we got to do this giveaway, Cameron.
I know. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got 6 entries with 10 people watching.
I know they got to get it in.
I'll give you
It
another
ships out tomorrow.
30 seconds to hashtag no BS Trump for your chance to win a Trump flag.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
Kimberly, remember to get on there and the Bill of Rights and send me your address.
Oh yeah.
I've got this flag waiting to send to you.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, that's no problem. Hey, we're backing you 100%. Like I said, I'm up here in Missouri, but anything I can do to help you, just let me know.
Where in Missouri?
Both
You?
of you.
I didn't know you were in Missouri.
Yeah, I live north of Kansas City, about 50 miles.
About 50 miles. I grew up in Monroe County.
Okay, Monroe's where at?
You know where Quincy, Illinois is at?
Yeah.
It's right across the river from Quincy.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm over in Davies County, which is, like I said, 55 miles north Kansas City, up on 35.
Yeah, I grew up probably 30,
Yeah.
45 minutes away from you. So.
Yeah. Small world that we get
Yep.
into.
There's a couple people entering for it. All right, Carl, hit refresh.
Okay.
Let's
Here
see.
we go.
No, don't hit the draw. Hit the refresh button.
Yeah, refresh that real quick.
No, because
Oh.
you just ended it for me. Thanks a lot.
What?
You got to listen to me when I'm doing this, okay?
No.
I'll get it on there. Don't worry.
Turn it up. Turn it up.
You don't refresh, it automatically picks up.
Oh, well, so those people had already been in it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
so we got 4 people that don't want a chance to win. Hi, NSA agents. I watch my phrasing very carefully. Yes, I
No,
talk
it's-
about things.
Probably Facebook fact checkers is what
Sure,
it
them
is.
too.
Oh, okay. So here's something for y'all. Enjoy.
Okay.
Love the fluff. All
Give
right,
me a-
hit it.
Cameron, give me a countdown.
3, 2, 1.
Let's see who wins the Trump flag. Lorna,
Lorna Coonfield.
one of
Congratulations.
our hosts on Conservative View. Awesome.
Congratulations, Carl. We'll get that
Congrats.
sent out to you.
Yeah,
as
it
soon
gets
as
sent out
possible.
tomorrow. Vince will be sending them out tomorrow. So,
Well, Kim, now that you've gotten quite a bit off your chest, do you want a chance to laugh?
Yeah, sure.
All right, stick around. Join us on Free Speech, Free Stupidity. We'll see how much we can make you giggle.
Okay.
yeah, it's an adult show.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Oh, we're
funny.
going to scar you for life. I mean, you're going to laugh forever.
Oh, come on now. I've seen a
We're
lot.
both in the neighborhood.
I don't know.
I've
Have you seen a lady try to fit a 7-foot Christmas tree up her U-Haul?
Oh, yeah. She got 2 feet deep before she blacked out from blood loss.
or the lady that was drunk and
So
decided she
lonely.
couldn't get a man, so she tried to hump a fire hydrant
In Canada in the middle of wintertime.
And froze to it.
and froze to it.
Oh, yeah. The next show's AFU.
We're sick. What can I say? So anyway,
We'll get you that. Carl will get you that link sent over to you. That way you can meet us in that Discord. I
Okay.
have beer to go grab.
I think Dakota needs a refill. And I
Oh,
gotta-
this
My
is
refill's right here.
right.
It's 100% a drinking show.
Yeah, I'll send you the link, Kimberly, if you want to join. If you don't, just watch us and have fun.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see you later.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for joining us here on Second Amendment Ranch. We look forward to seeing y'all in 6 minutes. 6
Thank you.
minutes for free speech, free stupidity.
Bye.